Hello everyone, Justin here, and today we are going to do some simple pencil shading practice using this bead that we drew in a different video. So check out that video to see how you can get to this point using either a Sharpie marker as we did here, or follow the video with a pencil up to this point and then continue on with shading it with a pencil as what we're going to show in this video. So first of all, we'll go ahead and get the pinchers right up out here, kind of dark, because I think those are pretty dark, and we'll just shade it dark with this pencil. And I'm using a 2B lead in a mechanical pencil, and just kind of shade these in. That's going to be a little bit lighter, so let's just leave a little bit of lightness, a little bit of a highlight there. So what we'll do is, for all the highlights, we'll just keep it plain white with the paper showing, like right there, and maybe this part will be light, so let's just shade around that. What you can also do is shade using the pencil completely covering the area, and then use a white pen or marker to put in the highlights. So here there's not a lot of shading going on yet, and same with here. I'm just gonna darken this whole area. Alright, so here's a good area where we'll do a little bit better shading with more obvious gradient. So I already put in an oval here. That's going to be our highlight, and I'm just going to start shading around that to start and add our gradient in a little bit. So I'm just using some straight lines, trying to cover this quickly, just like that. Light, even pressure. And I'm going to make this kind of round. So I'm going to add a circle right here, touching the upper left of this bigger circle, and that'll be our shadow line. So I'm going to use a little bit more pressure to shade this area. Okay? And just so it's not so harsh here, where the line is, I'm going to add a little bit more shading, a little bit lighter, past that line, and then use my softer lead pencil. I believe this is a 4B lead, and make the far lower right darker still, just like that. I advise just leaving the highlight white. You could try to erase that, but a lot of times it doesn't erase that well, and you don't get it as light as the paper. So it's just better to leave it white right from the beginning. So let's go ahead and do the same with here. And here, let's just leave a highlight like right there, and I'll just go ahead and draw like an oval, just to guide us a little bit. When you get better at this, you don't have to draw that oval. You'll kind of see where you're gonna leave it white, leave where the highlight's gonna be, and I'll just do the same thing. Okay, so let's add a little bit of a gradient. So you can see the cast shadow that I put in here with the Sharpie, and we'll go ahead and make this part a little bit darker, just because it's right underneath this section of his body. And keep the upper part of each segment a little bit lighter. So let's add some shadow, some darker tones on the lower half of each segment here. I hope you can see that on the video, that the lower half is a little bit darker, and this last segment's going to be receding, so I'm going to go ahead and make that a little bit darker still. So let's go back to our softer lead and make the lower part even darker, so we have more of a gradient. Okay, so I left the far right side a little bit lighter just to show that there's a little bit of a reflective light lighting up this section. So keep going and darken these a little bit. I'm not going to leave a highlight section because this lighter part compared to the black Sharpie is already our highlight, and the legs are a dark color to begin with, so no need to leave it white, which is the color of the paper. And we'll darken the ends. Same thing with up here, we'll just shade that in. Okay, so now what we'll do with the wings is just we'll do something a little bit different and just draw light separate lines, and just by drawing these you're gonna get a color to the wings, but it also adds a bit of a texture to the wing sections. And I'm just drawing lines, not necessarily very straight. I'm kind of wiggling it a little bit just to vary it a bit, and I'm following the lengthwise direction of the wing to do this. If you'd prefer to keep it a solid tone, you can do that as well, just like we did with the body. So for the wing sections, I'm not adding any gradient because honestly the wings are very thin, translucent, and I don't want to give it any real volume to speak of. The way this shading here with the gradient gives this body section a round appearance. So that should be pretty much it. Just a simple exercise in shading to make two-dimensional drawing, line drawing, look a little bit more three-dimensional. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.